Maybe just like do it like but a little bit sneaky.
Because then it's gonna look even stranger, like creepier.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a guy, girl, like don't.
Yeah, and then follow them out to their car.
Don't do that. Do not follow your gym crush out to their car, please. So we're back. It's been quite a long time. Yeah. A real hiatus. I mean, it's been a long time. Weeks and weeks.
Months and years.
So much has happened.
Decades, yeah.
Yeah, we just have a lot going on with work. We both had like 2 hectic weeks where we were just working for a full week, and then our baby's just growing up so fast. So
that's true. Started walking.
Yeah, which is crazy.
She's almost 1.
She's gonna be 1, and she's walking almost. Yeah. She's taking full steps by herself. So our life is chaos. Yeah, all that to say. Yeah, so we're back finally on the podcast. I mean, what's happened? I don't even remember what we talked about in the last episode. It's been so long.
Yeah, me either.
But I turned 35.
Yeah.
Since the last podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, like we said, the baby started walking. Just big stuff happening. Yeah, yeah, and we got into watching Dahmer. So
that was scary.
Spooky and took up a lot of our time where actually I think when I tried to set up the podcast last, I was missing a cable or something. Yeah. I had left it somewhere. Yeah, so we couldn't do it. I set the whole thing up and we couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I was watching TikTok live and there was just this random guy on it and he was like, if you're watching Dahmer, you're not a real Christian.
Oh, that's true.
And I said, oh, wow. I'm really into the show right now.
Lost my salvation.
Yeah, I must be in trouble.
Probably.
But that show's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's like done well.
Yeah.
Very terrifying. The memes that have come from it have been really funny too.
I have not seen any. Yeah. Our algorithms are so wildly different. I never see anything that you see.
Yeah. I mean, well, you're not really on TikTok enough for your algorithm to like fully develop.
That's true, but I feel like what it gives me is right.
What it gives you isn't right for anyone.
It's like mom stuff and cleaning stuff.
It's just all moms, which is fine. Moms are great and they have their own thing, but
it's a lot of like spend a day with me where they do like a day in the life and it's like, I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend. Like, this is what I do. This is a legit one that she's like, I wake up and I make whatever his name is, like Troy, some coffee, and I make him this latte with a little bit of cinnamon on top. And then I take it to him while he's working, and then I go back into the kitchen and I make Troy some breakfast, and then I load all the dishwasher, and then I close it, and then I go and I do a load of laundry, and then it's the afternoon, and so I make Troy his afternoon iced coffee, take it to him, and then I get started on dinner, and then we have dinner, and I clean up the whole kitchen, and then that's it. That's my day in life as a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Wow.
That's the kind of content I'm getting.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You did that really well.
Thank you.
So we're busy. So sorry for the delay. But I'm still working out.
That's good.
And
congratulations.
Yeah,
so happy for you.
I feel like I have something to offer in the fitness realm. So we're doing another podcast. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we were a little rusty, so you want to just ask questions?
Yeah, sure. First one is gym break after tattoo session.
Mm-hmm. Like taking a break from the gym after you get a tattoo.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I got a tattoo on earlier this week, and it's like right in the middle of my. I don't know if you can see that. It's like right on my bicep, inside of my elbow joint.
Yeah.
But anyway, I get this question a lot. Like, should you take a break from working out after you get a tattoo? And it really just depends on where it's at. And if one of the machines is like going to end up touching it or rubbing on it, I would probably avoid that. But you don't really need to wait more than like a day or something.
Does it bleed a lot
No.
when you're working out?
No.
Really?
No. After it's done, it doesn't really bleed. No.
I feel like it would just be bleeding.
I know it doesn't happen.
I don't have any tattoos.
You don't have any tattoos, right?
So I get to go to heaven.
Well, you watch Dahmer, so I don't think you're gonna make it either. Yeah, so you wouldn't know.
No.
So you don't really have anything to contribute. So a lot of people ask me also, should I not get tattoos? Like if I want to get bigger because they're gonna stretch out.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the concern, but it's not really. For you to have to you would have to like triple in size for your tattoo to actually look like
it's like big confidence.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I don't think you should worry about that right now.
Yeah,
go ahead and get the tattoo, or
what
maybe
if,
don't. I don't know. It depends on what it is.
They're big,
but
they're like, I want to lose a bunch of weight. Should I wait and get a tattoo?
I don't know. I guess it depends on where it's at. I don't know. I'm not going to tell people. People shouldn't listen to me about whether they should get a tattoo or not. I'm not qualified to. You should just talk to yourself about that. That's your decision. And if you're underage, then talk to your parents. I'm not one to be responsible for kids getting tattoos.
Yeah, definitely not. Like stick and pokes.
Like stick and pokes.
Do you have a stick and poke?
No, it just looks like it.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, can you just make it look like that?
Why?
I thought it was cool looking, and they didn't do stick and poke. It's the first tattoo on my arm was the one on my hand, and then I went like a reverse sleeve. Most people start at the top, I guess. Anyway.
Next question.
Yeah.
Do all dogs go to heaven?
Do all dogs go to heaven? This is I have a friend who's like, he also works for the ministry that I work for, or he did, and he's like I don't know how to describe him. He's a missionary in Japan.
Yeah.
But he's very much,
like
he knows the Bible really well. He's a theologian. I don't know if technically he is. I don't know if he has the credentials, but he definitely thinks he is. But we did a series where we like asked them questions like that. And one of them was, will all dogs go to heaven? Seriously. And he doesn't think so, but I'm convinced that my dog certainly will go to heaven.
Only if he's good.
But he died for the sins of the world. So that encompasses like everything on the planet.
I don't know that dogs can sin because they don't have a soul.
If he's got a soul, look at his eyes.
He has
look in his eyes.
He's just a dog.
I'm gonna have people vote. Do dogs have souls? Everyone's gonna say yes. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
I wish we could get it. Here, I'm gonna take a
just a
picture
dog,
so
nothing
I can put the picture up so people can see his eyes. You look ridiculous. He's begging for his new toy that he just got. His Halloween themed toy. Do you have it still? Yes. Can I show them what it is?
Ghost.
It's a ghost with a beer a beer mugs. I don't know what it's supposed to mean.
It's like an Oktoberfest ghost.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I just.
But yeah, he really wants it. But don't give it to him because he'll squeak it and make noise.
Advice on balancing alcohol with your fitness goals.
I think it just depends on what your goals are. Mm-hmm. And like anything that I'm drinking, I'm working into my calorie intake for the day. Yeah. I'm thinking about it, and I'm taking account for 200 empty calories. Mm-hmm. So if you just know that if you're going to be trying to get shredded and you need to be in a caloric deficit, if you're doing a bunch of drinking, like those calories add up fast, and they're not adding to your, protein or carb or fat intake. Yeah. And when you have a limited amount of calories, you have to really focus on making sure that you get enough protein, you get enough carbs, and you get enough fats. And so alcohol does not work, when you're on a cut. And the last thing you probably want to do realistically on a real cut is give 200 calories to a drink, like
Yeah.
a small drink. So
Yeah. And then I feel like it just makes you want a snack too.
oh, when you drink,
Yeah.
you want a snack. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So not a good combination. The thing is, if you still got to live your life. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you drink casually, is it enough to throw you off? Probably not, especially if you're bulking, you're a little less worried about that, but you can balance it. You just have to be thinking about how much you're consuming.
Yeah.
And how many calories those make up.
So like, if you're just going to be slamming some like
funneling beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably not a good idea.
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah. Is it normal to not get sore working out?
It should be. Because I said it before, but soreness is not an indicator of like whether or not you had a good workout. It's only an indicator of really like, oh, you haven't done that movement in a long time or ever. So it's best for hypertrophy, which is building muscle, that you progressively overload the same movements for 10 to 12 weeks typically, and not change the routine up. And if you do that, then after the first couple weeks, your body's it's going to be used to doing that. And you're not going to be sore. It's not going to take you as long to recover, and you're going to be able to progressively overload those same movements and not be sore. But if you're doing something different every time you go to the gym, you just show up to the gym and decide what you're going to do then. Yeah. And it's always different, then you're going to be sore a lot. Interesting. Yeah. And it's not going to help you build muscle, even though it seems counterintuitive, like, oh, I'm sore, so I must have had a good workout. Yeah. Which could be the case, but it shouldn't always be the case.
Interesting. Yeah. How long are you sore after you start working out?
I mean, it depends.
It's like someone who's never worked out before starts working out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it'll probably be a couple weeks. 2 or 3 weeks, maybe.
Wow. It's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Could be less than that, I guess. Yeah. I think it just depends on the person. Most clients it's like a week or two, and then
they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And then they say, oh, I'm ready for new workouts. And I'm like, okay, I hear you, but this is not going to, if we just keep switching it up, it's not going to help you reach your goals. Yeah. So I have to convince a lot of people that muscle confusion is not going to help them build muscle. So.
Interesting. I know you're taking protein.
Okay. I know you're taking protein. Like they know, like they found me out.
I know you're doing it. Yeah.
I am taking protein, yeah. They know.
I friggin' knew it.
They're right. I don't know what to say to that.
Well, I know it.
Most people know I'm taking protein.
I know you're doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't lie to me. I know you're taking protein.
I absolutely am. Not as much as you'd think. Everybody always asks me, like I did a live today, and everyone's like, protein, like, what's better? What's a better supplement, protein or like something else? And I'm like, well, you should be trying to get as much protein as you can from whole foods. But depending on what your goals are, it's hard to do that and stay under a certain calorie amount. So that's when you start to supplement the protein intake that you have from whole foods with like protein powders. And so without question, like I almost don't even consider it like an option. Like you have to use it depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. So it's not like, should I take protein or something else? People ask me all the time. Like you should take both. Like you should take protein and creatine. Like you should take, the things in my top tier of recommended supplements for my clients.
Can I guess what they are?
Sure.
Number 1, protein.
Yeah.
Number 2, creatine.
Yeah. You got it. I think.
Number 3, L-carnitine.
That's, I think a little, maybe 3 or further down the list. It's
number 4, Vitamins.
Yep. Vitamins are on there. I put them in front of L-carnitine.
Number 5, caffeine.
Caffeine. Yeah. Well, yeah. So pre-workout is the second tier. Yeah.
And then I don't know what else.
Well, people think, because people ask me, they say like, oh, can I just take black coffee? Can I just take caffeine pre-workout? And you can, but it's more, pre-workout is more than just getting caffeine for energy for the gym.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. You shouldn't only be relying on caffeine to get you through a workout. And if you are using caffeine as a pre-workout, then you might be confused about what a pre-workout is. And Alpha Lion makes like a pump pre-workout, which is like a stem-free version, with no caffeine in it, and it's got stuff in it that helps push more blood and water into your muscles during the workout, which gives you a pump, which makes your muscles fill up while you're working them. So if you were to just take caffeine, I think caffeine can help with strength, but you need more than that. Like you need a pump product in your pre-workout too.
Wow.
I don't know how we got here, but
because I know you're taking protein.
Absolutely am. Yeah. I'm taking all the things I mentioned.
I feel like you had a funny gym story recently, but I can't remember what it was.
A funny gym story?
Yeah.
Well, I think I texted you while I was at the gym about a conversation that was happening behind me. And it was just something, it was just two guys talking about stocks, but what was being said was not something that like two humans would say to each other in a conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it wasn't like a sentence that I would say to you and you would have something to give me to respond with.
Yeah.
But yet they were still talking back and forth. So I think I texted you. I'm like, it feels like NPC. There's like NPCs in the gym, which if you don't know what NPC is, like, it's just like a non-playable character is the acronym, but it's just like they're robots. They're not real people.
Yeah.
Like these aren't humans. And I don't remember what they said, but it was not like any dialogue from the real world. It was like definitely AI generated dialogue. But and then this week I got to work out with a guy who goes to the gym, who I've seen, like, he's just consistently there all the time. And so I always just like compliment him when he's like, because he's huge and he's lifting like a ton of weight. And he was like, hey, we should get a workout in sometime. And we're both like, we don't ever work out with people. Like, we're always there on our own. And that's for a reason. Like, we like it that way. So we were both like, like, let's try it. And so
it's like a first date.
Yeah, exactly. It's so awkward. So yeah, we got a workout in this week and it was great. But during the workout, he just like looked over and then looked back at me and he was like, I swear there's just NPCs in this gym. And I was like, it's funny that you say that, because I said the same thing. So I guess it's confirmed.
I guess so.
Maybe they're just like filling space, making the gym look like it's busy.
Probably.
Maybe it's a marketing thing.
Yeah. Maybe they're actors.
They could be actors. Could be the rehearsal. They could be rehearsing for gym roles, or they could be actors. You're right.
If I want to lose weight, what kind of foods should I be eating?
Okay, so it's probably less about what kind of foods and more about like just eating less of the foods.
Yeah.
Because you can lose weight eating anything as long as you're eating less than what it takes your body to maintain your current weight, which would be called a caloric deficit. So if you're trying to lose weight, I would put you in a caloric deficit. And if you're trying to minimize muscle loss, which most people are when they're losing weight, some people don't care. They just want to lose weight. But you have to keep your protein pretty high. And so there are ways to go about like structuring your meals to help you not only lose weight, but like be strategic about not losing muscle in the process. Yeah, and we've talked about the satiation index a million times on here, but you can pick out foods if you're having a hard time eating less food. There are foods that you can pick out that make you feel more full, that don't take up as many calories. And the reverse is true. Like if you have trouble, like a lot of people a lot of people have trouble gaining weight. So, finding foods that take up less volume and make up more calories.
A lot of people have trouble gaining weight.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Why?
A lot of people's metabolism is just like super crazy. It's just high. Like Matt.
Yeah.
Like he just can eat anything and everything. Our friend, he's super skinny. It's hard. It's like impossible for him to.
Yeah.
Like he could eat like 5,000 calories and just like doesn't affect him. Crazy. So anyway, what foods do you need to eat to lose weight? It just depends.
Yeah.
You really just need to focus more on eating less food, figuring out what your macros are, what your maintenance calories are, and then being in a deficit.
What's the best way to track your macros?
The best way to track them is to just use an app of some sort. I use, I think it's called Carb Manager. Like no one else uses it. I might be the only user. And I don't know why, but I just like started with it and I was like, I have no reason to leave. Like it does everything I need. Like you can just scan a barcode, and get the exact macros from the food you're eating. Yeah. Or you can search and type in, So, MyFitnessPal is like the biggest one, I think, probably. Most people use that. But yeah, I use that app, and that's the best way to track. So you can just enter in what you're eating. If you're meal prepping, that's super easy. You can figure out your macros and just know that you're eating the same thing every day. So what I do for clients is I build their meals around the macros that I've created for them in a way that they don't even have to think about tracking, because if they eat the exact foods and the exact amount of foods that I give them for each meal, they're going to hit their macros exactly. So it kind of takes the tracking out of it. But if you're like me, I kind of want to know and I want to track. So I use those apps.
All right. Last question. How do I get better at working out?
That's a good question. I think there's things you can do if you haven't been training for a long time. And even people who, just because you've been training for a long time doesn't mean you know what you're doing. Yeah. So I guess this is for anybody, but when you're at the gym, really think about like what you're doing that day. If you're targeting back, if you're doing back that day, really, you have to really think about when you're doing a movement, like what muscle is this movement supposed to be targeting? And if you don't know, like you need to figure that out. Yeah. Like Google that, find that out. And if you just go to the gym and just do something different every time, stop doing that. You can get better by figuring out a good split that'll hit every muscle group across the board. But yeah, there's just little things that you can do to get better each time you're training. Yeah. Like just knowing more. And like anything, after a while, you just get better at that mind, like having that mind muscle connection with movements. Yeah. And you just get better at doing those things. If you like, just like you do anything for a long enough time, you just get better at doing those things. So I don't know what they mean by better.
Would you recommend like following someone around at the gym and just copying what they do?
Don't follow someone around.
Oh. I had someone do that to me once.
They just followed you around? Yeah. Well, I think
that a stranger.
Okay. Maybe they just happen to be doing the same thing.
No.
Well, how are you so sure?
There's no way.
How are you so sure?
Because I'm positive. Literally every single thing I did, she just was like 10 feet away from me, just watching me and then doing the same thing. Okay.
Well, maybe you inspired her then. Yeah. A lot of times somebody will look like they're following me or I'm following them, but we just happen to be doing we have a very similar routine for that specific. Yeah. Like we're both doing the same muscle group. and we have limited equipment, and we're doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
just end up following people around.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that. Okay.
No. But I think that is one way you could get better at working out.
Looking at other people?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't know the reasoning behind why they're doing it,
Well, maybe it just looks cool.
you just happen to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. I wouldn't just follow someone around in the gym.
You should follow somebody else.
I don't think so.
Maybe just like do it like but a little bit sneaky.
Because then it's gonna look even stranger,
Yeah.
like creepier.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a guy, girl, like don't
Yeah, and then
This
follow
isn't
them
good.
out to their car.
don't do that. Do not follow your gym crush out to their car, please.
Yeah. That'll be bad.
This doesn't feel like. I mean, it feels like we're kind of rusty. So
Well, that's okay.
yeah, it's fine. But let's not take it such a big break this next time.
Well,
Let's do
I'll
one for
try
next
my
week.
best.
Okay, yeah, because you're in total control.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for listening. It's been a while.
You're welcome.
We appreciate the support. Thank you for listening to me and not interrupting me, speaking over me.
Wow, yeah.
Although our dog did interrupt us like a
Many times.
record number of times. He just
No, he's
He just
chewing
has
on his
to.
feet.
now he's chewing his feet, which he's not allowed to do.
No,
So
he's not.
he's gonna get in trouble when we end this. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Okay.
This is a podcast for people who do gym stuff and
don't
others
do
too.
gym stuff too.